Welcome back, everybody. Oh my good heavens. It's another season of Drunkard's Walk. Hi, I am your effervescent and recharged host, Jethro Nolan. And I'm delighted to be here, and we're delighted to have you back for another season of this delightful podcast, which we promise we will keep doing regardless of the demand for it. And I got to say, I couldn't do this by myself. And I'm always pleased to have with me my junior associate sidekick, Matt Hartman. Matt, say hi to the people.
Jethro, it's me. It's Matt Hartman.
Hi, how you doing?
Jethro, I'm back. I'm back from the future. I traveled into the future to season 7, and there's some terrible things going on. You've got to come back with me.
Oh no!
Yeah, we've got to travel to season 7 and fix everything that's going wrong.
Oh God, how bad is it?
Oh, it look, it's not you, okay? It's your kids, Jethro. Something's got to be done about your kids.
I've already shipped the one off.
Yeah.
I have another kid? Oh,
yeah,
boy.
You're going to find out about that pretty soon, too.
Oh, that's great. That means I'm getting laid soon.
Yeah, that's right.
That's delightful. You know what?
You want to just wait till after the episode and go?
Well, I propose that we get to season 7 just by going through season 6 chronologically.
I've already been there, man. It's bad news.
And I'm also kind of curious if Hartman's going to make this a running gag for the season where he references a different 80s movie each week.
That wasn't my plan. That wasn't my plan, but
I feel like I have to do it.
I guess now I will. So, okay.
All right.
Sure.
So everybody bone up on your Teen Wolf. So you'll get the sly references.
Don't give it away. Sly references, Wolf. No, that's not the right thing. Well, anyway, I'm excited to be recording season 6 here with you, Jethro. The hiatus was, I built a time machine and I traveled into the future, not far, just to season 7. So 6 months
really?
Into the future? Yeah.
So killing Hitler, not tops on your radar, but going into the future and listening to our podcast.
Well, here's the problem.
That trumps killing Hitler.
I can't travel into the past. The time machine doesn't go into the past. It only goes into the future.
It's not really a time machine, is it?
No, it isn't. It's just like regular life. Now, I know what you're wondering. How did I get back here?
Yes.
Well, the answer is simple.
All right. Good to know. I'm glad there's a simple answer.
There is.
One day offline. For our Patreon subscribers, if you subscribe.
Well, I'll put the blueprints up on there too, so that they can figure out how to build their own.
1 million a week level, you too can get the detailed information about the time machine that only goes into the future. But somehow
but there's a way to get back. Yeah. So here's the thing. I got the plans off of I got a copy of Boy's Life from like 1987, and in the back there's all those things that you can order a hovercraft and X-ray goggles. Well, I got the plans for a time machine, and it really worked. It was pretty great.
I tell you what. Deep cut Boy's Life reference you're making, like
that?
13 Weebelows really excited right now.
They are very excited.
Why wouldn't they be?
I'm the only non-Boy Scout that ever subscribed to Boy's Life, because my dad was a Boy Scout and he was like, you gotta subscribe, Boy's Life, that's a great magazine. I was like, all right. So I subscribed to it, and I didn't understand most of it. And those ads in the back, I was always ordering the mystery package. There were all these wacky like gags you could buy, and one of them was a mystery package that would show up, and it was a bunch of garbage. I mean, it was
that's like
Ice Cube, and
it's like proto Craigslist. It's like
exactly
all the garbage that couldn't fill a full ad. They were like, just sell the whole page.
Well, anyway, so it has been an exciting time. I'm happy to be back and talking about the 80s again, and I'm just excited to go on another journey here with you through another season. Yeah,
me too.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
I got lonely between seasons, so I would occasionally just go to Wikipedia and click on random things, and then argue with myself about which would be the better thing to click on. So
oh wow, okay.
It's nice to have this as an outlet for that.
For sure, it is. Yeah, you've got it. Well, and you do have to have an outlet for this type of clicking on random topic thing. Otherwise, you will, probably go out of your mind.
Yeah, you don't want to die with your clicks still left in you.
No,
you want to see as much. The internet's an amazing place. See as much of it as possible. That's my motto.
Well, Jethro, I think we should get down to it, buddy. I think we should jump right in here. We know where we're starting, and we don't have a destination, man.
We don't yet, but you know what? Matt, if you'll look on the Zoom call, you'll notice that Greg Gillotti has been hiding there the whole time.
There
Say
he
hi to
is.
the people, Greg.
Hi, everybody. It's me, Greg Gillotti. I was hiding here the whole time.
Good job,
Indeed.
Greg. Good job.
Well done.
Hiding in plain sight. I love it.
So you are a return visitor to the podcast, which means we've run out of friends. We're cycling through the 3 friends we have. And then occasionally reaching back into old high school acquaintances.
Yes.
But you are one of the people who filled out the Google form, which I don't know that we've really publicized a lot. There's a Google form out there. Go to the Drunkards Walk social media sites, and you'll find a link to the Google form. Maybe
or the you will there. You'll find it in our show description as well. So if you're listening to this for the first time, you can go find it through there. And give us topics to travel off to, and we'll have you on, like we do with Greg here. Greg, how you been, man? It's been, I think you were on several seasons ago.
Yeah, it was probably, it was a long time ago, perhaps before the incident that we're all stuck in forever. It's been.
It wasn't before that. I don't think it was before that.
Which one of the many national or global tragedies that we are currently mired in? Are you
which one are you talking about?
Are you talking about COVID?
No, I was talking about how disappointing Disenchanted season 3 was.
Oh, right. Yeah. It was before that, because you were here for season 2. I believe it was a flood of some sort that you gave us, right?
The Great Molasses Flood. Great Molasses Flood. Yeah. That was a good one.
That's right.
That was a pretty sweet topic, huh?
A lot of people died.
Yes, but they died like 100 years ago, and in New York or Boston or something. So I feel
Boston. It's Boston.
It's funny on 2 counts.
It really is.
It really is. So how have you been since then? What have you been up to? Anything exciting?
You know what? Here are the big things that I've done. Is I've gone hard into Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh.
And as much as I can, I'm DMing a campaign for a group of my friends. We did it since the beginning of COVID. And I've been trying as hard as possible to minimize the parts of Dungeons and Dragons in it and maximize the parts where we're just doing random made up BS in it. And it's a blast.
Nice.
It's really, it is a lot of fun to do. I know I'm speaking to some nerds of the gaming table. So I finally jumped in and started doing it for real. It felt great.
That's cool.
Excellent.
That's one gaming thing that I never really got into. I enjoy board games quite a bit, and even campaign games. Right now I'm in the middle of our 4th campaign of Star Wars Imperial Assault with some high school buddies of mine. But Dungeons and Dragons, we tried it in high school and we just didn't. I don't know. There was something about it. We just couldn't get into it. I think we had a bad DM. Like, he had never done it before. He didn't know what he was doing. And I think you need a good DM and need somebody like you who's creative and thinks up like crazy shit to go on in order for it to be really fun and entertaining.
I only dabbled very briefly with Dungeons and Dragons during the satanic panic of the mid 1980s. Because if all of the stuck up Christian adults were against it, I'm like, well, I ought to look into that.
Must be great.
If all of these assholes hate it.
Was that Tom Hanks character based on you? Is that where that came from?
No, it was mine. I lived my own true life. You're referring to, I can't remember the name of the movie that Hanks was in, where it was before it was like the movie before he broke. Where it's a bad anti-Dungeons and
Mazes and Magic.
Mazes and Monsters or something like that.
Yeah. Very first draft reinterpretation of the Dungeons and Dragons.
That's right. I love it. Well, that's great. That's great that you're getting into that and having a grand old time with it. Is that the topic you brought us? Are we going to Dungeons and Dragons? Oh, God.
No.
So excited for a second.
This is a topic that I actually, there's no good segue here, except it is a game.
Oh.
So that is true.
Okay.
This is something I found out about hitting the random button on Wikipedia.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. Last spring, I was very bored. And so I did that a few times, just clicking around. I hit random. And I came to find out about this little pub game, this little tabletop board game called Crokinole, that is apparently a Canadian delight, much like maple candies.
Mm-hmm.
It is the combination of shuffleboard and a donut. It is a large wheel of wood that you put little tiny discs on and flick them, and you try to get them into a hole that's in the middle. But if you can't get it in the hole in the middle, you're trying to blast all the other tokens that are on the board. It is so calming to watch, yet still barely exciting. It's a lot like curling.
I was going to say, the description sounds like it is like ping pong to curling's tennis in terms of
yes,
sports size and where you stand on relation to the table board.
Yeah, that's generally true. So I know crokinole very well. I have my own crokinole board. I love crokinole. A friend of mine introduced it to me. He brought it on this gaming retreat we went on one time, and he had a board that was like custom made. It was amazing. I just bought mine online. It's real cheap kind of thing, but it is very fun, and it's even fun. Like, it's a 2-player game, and there were a whole bunch of us there, but like 2 people would start playing, and everyone would just watch. Oh my gosh, this is so, and it's got scoring sections, and that's where you're knocking people out of, and it doesn't score if it, and it falls out the thing. And oh man, it is a blast. I will say I really enjoy a good crokinole.
What's happening right now is hearing this from you. I feel like some corn-fed kid in Nebraska meeting a guy that went surfing. And he's just like, oh my God, you went out there, you hit a wave? Like, that's amazing to me, because it's not well known outside of this little circle. And there's something extremely endearing about these extremely like localized things, like duck pin bowling, like bocce, like all like that kind of stuff. And that's why when I found out about this, I just started watching like the 2018 World Championships.
Oh, wow.
A bunch of dudes just sitting down flicking.
That's awesome. I've never watched it, and now I'm definitely going to, because I mean, I've played it and I enjoy playing it, but gosh, that's got to be, to watch experts play it, got to be amazing.
It's I guess amazing. I guess it's that certain brand of amazing.
Well, I mean, it's got to be like they're going to have like style and technique and all sorts of things that like never would have occurred to me. Like, it wouldn't have occurred to me that there would be a national tournament of this thing. Like, I just thought it was like tic-tac-toe, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. I guess there's probably national tournaments of tic-tac-toe too, but
that'd be terrible.
It would be, but I bet it exists.
I think any activity can be engrossing if you choose curiosity.
There you go. Oh,
the universe is an amazing place, and in fact I remember being at that gaming retreat with you and your gaming friends, and
that's right. You're right.
I will say that's an intimidating group, because they not only did everybody brought like 80 games to this thing, and there's nowhere near enough time to play all that stuff, but everybody, their level of gameplay was very sophisticated and deft. And I felt like when are we playing tic-tac-toe? Because my level of gameplay is not that.
Yeah. Well, mine's not generally at their level either, but I just, sit back and choose curiosity.
Didn't you win the MIT puzzle hunt?
As a member of a very large team, I did, yes. But I wasn't a huge contributor to that.
It's nothing compared to the Caltech puzzle hunt. That's the real big difference.
Actually, the MIT puzzle hunt, I know that this episode isn't coming out until February, but actually this coming weekend is the hunt. We're doing the hunt again this weekend. It's all virtual, so
fantastic.
It's going to be a great time.
And you know what? Congratulations! By the time this comes out, congratulations.
I don't know.
Well done.
I don't know
unless that's part of what went wrong.
Oh, I can't talk about it. I don't know if I want to win again. Winning means you have to plan the hunt the next year, and that was a lot of work. So I'm not saying I'm going to tank it or anything like that, but gosh, if we do win, I don't know about that.
Maybe
if you do lose, it was on purpose.
Yeah,
exactly.
Maybe there should be a paradox for the MIT puzzle hunt, in which coming in second is really the win, because then you don't have to do the work.
Yeah.
But then the team who comes in second by actively trying to is actually going to be the winner. So they're going to have to design it anyway. And then,
right. Yeah. There have been, don't get me wrong. Like, there were moments that our team, we weren't ready to run a hunt yet. Like, we really didn't feel confident in it and things like that, but we were doing very well in a particular hunt. And the team that was in charge came to us and said, you may win, there were several teams that were in the running to win at that moment. And they said, do you want to? And we had a meeting and it was like, do we want to win? And essentially the decision we came to was, well, we don't really know that we're ready for that, but I guess if it happens, it happens. Well, in the time that we had that discussion, another team had taken a very large lead over us.
Oh.
And so it was just like, all right, well, you're not going to. And I think there was a lot of sighs of relief at that moment. I think that people were kind of like, yeah, we'll do it if we have to. But I think a lot of people were kind of like, this isn't the year. So it kind of worked out for us to have that discussion.
I feel like, and we'll take this offline. And again, Patreon subscribers, you'll get access to the whole thing. But it feels like there is a Christopher Guest-esque mockumentary about a nerdy puzzle hunt, and I don't want to brag, but we're just the guys to pull it off.
I mean, I think that it exists. I think that there's absolutely a lot of I think either you could do it. Well, you could do it about the whole thing, right? So you follow the team that's running it, but then you go to other teams and see what they're doing and things along those lines. I think you're absolutely right. There's a lot of material there.
All right, so, spin-off project.
There you go. That's what we're doing. Greg, are you in?
Do I get points? Points on the back end?
Yeah, sure. Well,
sure.
Yeah, why not?
Sure. Yeah. You get an equal share of the debt we will amass by pursuing this vanity project with no celebrities. Yes, you're in on the ground floor. Oh, let me put it this way, Greg. It'll be just as lucrative as the rest of your improv career has been.
Hey, I got mugs.
Well,
I got mugs out of this.
Okay.
All right, you're ahead of the game then.
So there you go. Yeah. We'll get you some
laughing
mugs.
all the way to the bank.
The mug bank. So Greg, this is great. This is awesome. Jethro, do you have any question? Like I don't know a ton about the history of this game or anything like that, but I know the game. So do you have any questions about it that you want to know before
it's Canadian, it's shuffleboard and
ish.
Adjacent. It's a tabletop thing. Any other? Are there any celebrities who are big advocates of it, or any fun facts you learned when you hit the randomizer and landed on the Crokinole page that were like, wow, that sounds cool?
There is oddly very little drama in this world. But one thing that did stick out to me is that apparently there are heated conversations about whether or not you're allowed to use lubricants during the matches.
Oh my.
To change the friction on the surface. That's about it. I also kept searching Crokinole celebrities. Mm-hmm. It was no real celebrities, but I'm sure there's celebrities in the scene.
Did your computer explode when you typed those two words in together?
Well, I don't know. Everything locked up, and I could just use DuckDuckGo. That's it. That's all
there
I
you
got
go.
left.
As long as you could use something. All right. Well, that makes sense, I guess, that it's not that well known of a game, right? So I guess there's not going to be a ton of celebrity endorsement of it or anything along those lines. Are the national things, are they like broadcast on television, or is it all like an online type of like YouTube?
I think it's just YouTube.
Okay.
It certainly is all there. You can find it. There's a channel for it, but it like takes place in Ontario somewhere. Okay. Yeah. Hey, I feel like we really whiffed on that celebrity thing. So let's just say Dave Coulier.
Oh, okay.
Why not?
That sounds good. Yeah. I figured either him or Dave Foley were going to be involved, but that's
Dave Foley can't go back to Canada.
No,
let's say Dave Coulier.
He's killed a lot of men there.
Yeah.
That's
not good.
Dave Foley.
Not good.
Dave Foley, Kids in the Hall and Murderers in the Street.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
Well, Greg, thank you so much.
This was a pleasure. Thanks for having me back.
An absolute delight to have you on, and let's not make it another 4 seasons before you pop back on again.
Yeah, for sure.
Maintain the timeline and happy hunting.
We'll try. We'll see what we can do. Take care, man.
Bye.
All right, so Matt, we've got to do some guessing here.
We do have to do some guessing. You know what, Jethro? Before we do, though, I need to take a moment because we have been remiss in doing our shout outs to our patrons.
Oh.
And I want to take a moment right now to give a big thank you to both of our patrons.
What? Do we have time to list 2 people?
I think we have time. We have Katie, who was our first patron and continues.
The OG.
That's right.
Of Patreon subscribers.
And a new patron since our last season ended. And that is none other than super fan Dave Foreman.
Wow. That is
So Dave jumped on, and he is one of our patrons now. And in fact, at his level of patronage or patronage or whatever you would call it,
patronage.
He'll be joining us this season for an entire episode.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Yeah. So
it'll be a lot of fun.
Looking forward to that. And we'll see when that happens. We haven't scheduled that with him yet. I'm sure he's listening now. So Dave, don't worry. We're going to be reaching out to you and figuring out when that's going to happen, buddy.
Absolutely. And also don't worry about the future. I'm sure things are just fine for you in that future timeline.
Yeah.
Oh no. Don't tell me something happened to Dave.
No.
All right. So
we're going to guess now.
Thank you very much, subscribers. And if you wanted us to support us, Patreon is there for you too. And I've just been told we have increased the limit of allowable subscribers. So there's still a few.
We can now have more than 2. Yeah. So we used to have that as our limit, but now
we've increased it. So
it can be more than that.
The green light from corporate.
Head to Patreon. If you don't know what Patreon is, it's a website where it allows you to give like monthly donations to people that ask for it. And so we're asking for it. And that's something you can do. There are different levels that you can donate at. And if you go over to patreon.com, search Drunkards Walk Podcast. I think it's actually Drunkards Walk Podcast /patreon.com, or maybe it's the other way around. I'm terrible at this type of thing. This is why no one is going there.
It's patreon.com /Drunkards Walk Podcast.
Oh, there you go.
Or you can just go to Patreon and search for Drunkards Walk. And I tell you what, if you're one of those people who's like, you know what, I hate advertising. I don't want to hear ads. Isn't there some way where I can just give money to the people who make the content that I enjoy directly without having the bastardizing influence of the advertiser? And yes, you can. You have the power to do that.
That's right. You can do it for us, or you can do it for us who doesn't have any sponsors, and so there aren't any commercials. Or you can go on and look. I'm gonna support Patreon here just by saying go to Patreon, find something that you like, and support it. Would you please? Like, support some art out there. If it's not this, that's okay. Yeah. Like, you don't need to support us. We're fine. We're doing okay. We'd like it if you did, but you don't have to. Go support something you love, that you really love.
Yeah. I mean, you could also support us too. No,
yeah, but you don't have to. But you
definitely support us. No, but you don't have to. I mean, but Matt, we talked about the 5-year plan is for me to quit my job and live off the sweet podcasting.
Well, I told you, Jethro, I've been 6 months in the future, and things are going okay for that plan.
All right, good deal. Yeah. So let's do some guessing and some clicking.
All right, so we are going to start this season at Big O notation, which was one of our topics in the first season. If you're not familiar with how we get our starting point for the season, we've gone back to the first season and we're just going down the list of all the different topics that we were given. So last year it was lock stitch that we started at, and that's where we ended. And this year, Big O notation is where we are starting and where we will end. And if you're not familiar with what that is, don't worry. We're going to talk a bunch about it, but we have to guess how many clicks it'll be between Big O notation and crokinole.
There you go. And I believe Big O notation was the suggestion given to us by Brett Baver.
I believe that's correct. He is the person. And if you are wondering, Jethro, as you're making your guess, we have had a total of 450 links over our entire past 5 seasons. And that has given us an average of 5.625 links per episode, or per walk, I guess, if you want to say that. So if that helps you with your averaging or your guessing, go ahead and give it a go. I'm going to write down my guess right now, and I'm done. I've done it.
I have written down mine as well. Perfect. I don't want to brag, but pretty good.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, that is based on how many it actually takes, whether it's good or not. So we'll find out, won't we?
But I know it's good. It's a good guess.
Right.
In fact, it's such a good guess that if it takes us a different number of clicks, then we're wrong.
That's wrong. How good this
sure.
That makes sense.
That's how good this guess is.
That makes sense. All right. Well, let's jump right in here then to Big O notation. And for those of you that haven't listened to season 1, if you're not a Patreon subscriber, because that's the only place you can listen to season 1 now, Big O notation is a mathematical notation that describes the limiting behavior of a function when the argument tends toward a particular value or infinity. Huh. Well, there you go. That's what it's all about. That doesn't mean anything to me, but can you put that into layman's terms at all, Jethro? I know you're a math whiz.
Oh yeah, math whiz is absolutely the wrong words. I'm a math whiz if all you know about math is like addition and subtraction.
Yeah.
Then I'm a math whiz. Like when it gets to complex stuff, I took it. I was started to be a chemical engineer in college, and I took all the math courses I needed for that degree.
Yeah.
And I took a differential equation honors, and I got a B because the professor was like, yeah, if you got over this score on the final, you get an A. If you got under this score, you get a B.
Wow.
So I got a B through pure pity because and let's just all be glad that I'm not a chemical engineer today, because I would have killed people with the things I designed with my spotty knowledge of advanced mathematics, even back then. And I've forgotten it all since because of the drugs and alcohol.
Oh, okay. Oh,
yeah, I don't look forward to trying to get back to this at the end of the season. I'll tell you that, because it's chancy and I don't know a whole lot about it. But the good news is we only need one link to get us out of here towards something gamey or gamified.
Yeah, and this is math. This is a math term, and a lot of games are math related. And crokinole itself, I mean, there are certainly angles involved and force. I mean, that's not math; that's more physics, I guess. But I'm sure that the shape of the board is a circle. Well, it's an octagon with a circle in the middle. I think
those are two different shapes.
No. Well, I'm trying to remember. So the board itself, like the board you play on, is a circle, but like the actual board is like an octagon, because there's these little places where the things that you're flicking like fall into if they go like off the board.
Yep.
And I'm trying to remember if it's an octagon or it could have been a hexagon. I don't really remember the exact shape. It's one of those multi-sided, not squares. So there you go.
There you go. So I will say I have a hazy memory of us going to a destination of finite and infinite games, and like trying to get there through game theory, and it not connecting us to what we wanted to go through. So I love game theory. I think it's a fascinating topic. I think everybody should know more about it. I don't know how quickly it's going to get us to something.
Do you see that on here?
I don't, but if we were to go in a mathy direction, to get in here, there is computer science, which could get us towards computers and maybe physics and simulations and computer games and that kind of thing.
Yeah, possibly. I see a lot of things, a lot of like, constant, logarithmic, linear, quadratic is on here. So there's a lot of exponential. The traveling salesman problem is on here.
There you go.
Remember the traveling sales? That's very similar, I feel, to the Drunkard's Walk, I think.
Indeed.
If I'm remembering correctly.
Indeed.
But
there's a whole lot of math on here.
Yeah, a whole lot of math going on. And a fairly long page too, I have to say. The names of mathematicians, if you know any of them.
There is a link to algorithm, which I see might get us to an interesting place. I believe we may have been there once or twice before. I remember talking about algorithm and the origin of that word in a prior episode.
Yeah. I see normed vector space.
Oh, I love me a good normed vector space.
Yeah, metric space is vector space. Wow. Okay. Well, yeah. So I'm thinking, I'm thinking physics. I'm thinking like bodies in motion and collisions and things like that. If there was a way to somehow get from those types of things into this game, but I don't know about that. I mean,
if we got to mathematics itself, that might get us to physics. Possibly.
Omicron is on here.
Of course it is.
As is Omega, but those are the only two. But they're actually linked. And Zero is on here. Does that help us at all? Zero?
Zero takes us nowhere. I mean,
yeah, it's nothing. Zero's nothing. So
it's nothing to me.
It's all Greek to me.
There is a link to mathematics, which was an early form of witchcraft, which might be a fun place to go, because mathematics. I don't know if you know this. Math is everywhere, and it's used a lot in various sporting games. So that could get us to a fun place. It's under usage.
Well, that's interesting. That's an interesting idea.
Well, Galileo has told us that math is the language in which God wrote the universe.
Well, there you go. Yeah, we talked quite a bit about math when we were doing our we were trying to get to the bracket suggestion. That was actually one of our patrons gave us that topic. So I'm fine with mathematics. I don't see anything else on here that particularly jumps out at me as like, hey, this is where we should head. So you found that under usage, you said?
Yes, it is under usage.
Oh, I see it. There it is. Mathematics, right above computer science. All right. Shall we? To mathematics then?
I think that's a great idea. To math. Although really, math was with us the whole time.
I see.
Here we go. Math.
All right. Look at that. Boy, oh boy.
Study of topics such as numbers, shapes, space, etc., etc.
I see a line on here. I see Newton's law of gravitation.
That gets into physics.
Modeling. Yep. There's Einstein. The natural sciences.
Mathematical awards.
Oh, mathematical rigor. Yeah. That just takes you to rigor. That's something. I love it. Yeah, there's going to be something on here, man. There's going to be something real good on here. I can tell already. I see pseudoscience. That's not good.
There's STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics.
That's what my profession is in, STEM education. So I know quite a bit about STEM.
There you go. There's mathematics and art.
Oh my gosh. Dude, you know who's on here?
Socrates.
No, Pierre de Fermat.
Fermat from Fermat's last theorem.
No, Fermat. It's there's a T on the end. Anyway, if you want to pronounce it, just drop the T. That's kind of a Pittsburgh pronunciation thing, I know, to drop the last letter of stuff. So, but it's Fermat. So he's on here.
Good for him.
Circles. Hey, that's the shape of the board. could that possibly be on there?
Possibly, yeah. It might be. It also might not be.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, I don't know. I can think of one or two other places that circles exist.
Yeah.
There is a link to astrology, which is fun.
How would that help us?
I don't know. I just like that there's a link there. I don't think it would help. In fact, let me be clear. Astrology will not help you in any way, shape, or form, with the exception of the possibility of any placebo effects.
Well, thank you.
There is a link to Leonardo Fibonacci of the famed Fibonacci sequence. Fantastic stuff.
There's algebra. Algebra's on here.
Interestingly, it gives Fibonacci credit for introducing the Hindu-Arabic numeral system to the Western world. And I thought that my algorithm friend, Al-Khwarizmi, did that.
Well, Al-Khwarizmi is on here as well.
Of course he is.
The two main precursors of algebra.
Maybe that's a down the rabbit hole scenario.
Yeah. I'm not sure about that. I don't know what to say about that. There's
the number pi is linked here.
There's a picture of a Rubik's Cube.
Is there?
Yeah, but it's not linked. Rubik's Cube it's set, but it doesn't say. It's group theory is the only thing that's linked under the Rubik's Cube. It's not helpful.
That's interesting. I have, in fact, a Rubik's Cube on my desk right now.
You do?
Yeah. I a couple of years ago, I decided that's the thing a grown man should know is how to solve a Rubik's Cube. So I looked up the algorithm and figured it out and then did it for a while and then lost interest.
Oh, so were you able to solve it, or when you say you did it for a while?
There is a series of steps that you can take on any cube that will solve it. And it is once you know what those series of steps are, it's rather trivial to solve a Rubik's Cube. I just looked up some webpage that somebody else had figured it out. I didn't figure it out myself.
Got it.
So I did the dumb man's version or copy off the smart kids.
Sure. I had a Rubik's Magic when I was back in maybe elementary school, middle school, something like that. You remember the Rubik's Magic? Not at all. It was like a flat thing, and it had like these plastic quadrants to it. Not even quadrants. They were like just squares, and they were kind of tied together by like fishing line, and you could fold it, and they had rings on them. They were drawn on them. And then if you held it one way, it had the three rings unlinked. And then if you folded it the right way, it would link the rings. Somebody taught me how to do that. And I still have it and still know how to do it. Like it's all muscle memory. Like I was just like, oh, look, there you go. Yeah, you can undo it. You can do it this way and you can do this.
Very
way.
nice.
So, yeah, it's a pretty fun little thing. If you don't know Rubik's Magic, look that one up, folks. But if you're going to look it up on the mathematics page, you're going to be disappointed because it ain't there. I do see game theory. I know you mentioned that game theory didn't help us. I see probability theory. It's got some pictures of some dice. So those might be not great ways out, but they might be ways out.
I like both of them. Statistics is also another possibility because sports is often a place where a lot of statistics are kept with regard to the players themselves. I don't know if we'll see a whole lot of that, but I like any of those. So game theory, statistics, and probability.
Now, do we think that like game theory would then I would assume that we're thinking of headed towards games, but do we really think that that's the way into this? Like, is there going to be a list of just every game, or should we instead be looking at should we be looking at like you mentioned, it was a pub game. Do you think that if we got into
drinking,
or like pubs or bars or something like that, like it would talk about pub games and pubs, and that would be a quicker path? I don't know that there's a way into from math to pubs and drinking, but
I think math causes a lot of people to go to pubs.
I think that's probably true, but does it say that here on the Wikipedia page? It's the question.
I'm not seeing it. It's certainly possible. Like we're pretty far away from it in mathematics. So literally anything that we taste is going to get us a little bit closer.
Yeah. If there was something like a bar bet or something, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's the type of thing that could potentially get us.
But that's why something like probability could get us there, because when you talk about bets and stuff, I think that might take us to a place that's more along those lines.
Yeah, that's certainly possible. I'm trying to look down here. They've got areas of mathematics. And once again, it has game theory listed, but it doesn't have anything about specific games or anything like that. All right. Well, I mean, maybe game theory is the best way to go here, unless you want to try to get to Canada, but that's very geographical. I don't know. Maybe this year we should just say we can go the geographical route and just go to Canada.
I mean, I think we should.
Canada on here? I don't know if Canada's even on here.
I feel like we owe our listeners a journey of discovery, and going the geographic route is the opposite of that. We do. I feel like we have a contract with the listener that, hey, we are putting together what we think is an enjoyable thing to listen to, and I feel that we have the obligation to spend their time well.
All right. Well, good enough. Good enough.
You want to do game theory, probability theory, or statistics?
Man, they all have their kind of their pros and their cons. I feel like we've been through game theory, so let's do one of the other two. So I'm eliminating game theory. You pick between the other two.
All right, then I'm going to go with probability theory. Okay. Actually, no, I'm going to go with statistics, because statistics I feel like could get us into a sporty type thing, which is more gamey related than probability theory. I'm worried is going to be like heavily theoretical, and statistic I feel like there's going to be examples of here's the thing in the real world that we measured, so it's not just all mathematic theory.
Maybe it's possible. Yeah, you want it to be a little more gamey, like venison.
There you go. Statistics it is.
Where did you see statistics? Because I'm not
if you scroll down, there is a grid showing different areas of mathematics.
Oh yes, I'm familiar with that grid.
And statistics is right next to probability theory.
Game theory. Yeah, I still don't see it. Okay, I have to just actually read it instead of skimming.
If you scroll down, you'll just see the pictures, and you'll see the picture of the dice. It's right next to the picture of the dice.
Oh, you're in a different grid than I am. I see. That's the grid. Yes, I got it. Statistics. Here we go. That's why I wasn't finding it, because it was in a different grid.
Fantastic.
All right. Statistics it is. Oh, where have I typed that? All right. Sorry, I have two monitors and my cursor wasn't where I thought it was. All right. So here we are in statistics. Statistics, folks, is the discipline that concerns the collection, organization, analysis, interpretation, and presentation of data. Now, do you say data or do you say data?
I say data typically.
Yeah, me too.
Matt, it occurs to me
Yeah.
that we have left out an important element. We forgot to talk about what we were drinking.
Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah. Oh, we didn't ask Greg either. Oof.
We didn't.
We
I
are
feel like
poor
we
hosts.
should talk about that now.
Poor
What do you
hosts.
have?
Yeah, sure. Well, I'll tell you, Jethro, actually, I decided that I've been drinking quite a bit during the pandemic, and
Me too.
it's the start of a new year, and so I decided to cut back a little bit. So I'm drinking some water with some lemon juice added to it. That's what I'm drinking tonight.
Look at that. I also have been drinking a fair amount during the pandemic, and I have also poured myself a glass of water this evening, but just because I'm out of booze, not because
well, there you go.
I have any.
That is not an issue here. So in fact, a new shipment just came in. So as a matter of fact, we are flush with booze, but I'm drinking. I'll tell you what, I'll let you in on a little info about Matt Hartman. I'm drinking water with lemon juice in it because water with lemon juice is a good way to prevent kidney stones.
Ooh.
Now I'm not going to go any further into it than that, but I'm going to tell you that's a good thing. So folks, if you're looking to avoid a kidney stone, try some water with lemon juice in it. Not too much though. Start to cut away at the enamel on your teeth, but just a little bit every now and then.
Wow. Yeah. That is a fun fact.
Mm-hmm. Isn't it?
But enough about your kidney stones. Can we talk about statistics?
I didn't say please? I did. I just said.
Oh no, okay. No one.
Yeah, let's talk about statistics. Let's talk about a way out of statistics into games because I haven't seen anything yet. I've seen a lot of extrapolation and data mining. There's some algebra again talked about in here. Differential equations, one of your best friends. But I'm not seeing anything about sports yet.
No.
Did you see anything about sports anywhere?
No, I haven't.
Games?
I haven't. I see Celsius.
Oh, sure.
Celsius could get us to freezing, could get us to ice, could get us to.
Oh boy.
It could get us to curling, could get us to crokinole.
Okay.
That's just me thinking out loud.
I don't know that curling and crokinole are that closely related.
They're Canadian.
Yeah, but I mean in curling, you're like going toward a target and knocking people away from the target. Whereas in crokinole, you are shooting for that center space, but otherwise, like the places you're shooting at, it's not like a single target. It's like individual, I don't know, quadrants or little, not quadrants because there's 4 of those, but little areas that you're going for, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, that's the same type of. Also, you're both shooting toward the center instead of everybody shooting down like a thing, right? Like, I feel like there's like shuffleboard and curling are much more closely related.
Okay,
so that's what I would say. But I don't know. I mean, maybe it works out. But I'm hoping that there's something about sports on here. That is why you brought me here, right? Because of sports.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Have you found anything about that yet, or
not yet? But I feel like it's early to be given up.
Is it early? Because you usually jump like straight to the bottom. And have you found anything at the bottom or anything?
Well, I'm down there now, desperately looking.
Okay. Good.
Okay. Yes, I have found it.
Oh, good. Oh, thank God.
Under specialized disciplines, there are a whole lot of areas of statistics like biostatistics, astrostatistics, image processing, jurometrics or law. Mm-hmm. And there is statistics in various sports, particularly baseball, known as sabermetrics, and cricket.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah. So we don't have sports, but we have 2 specific sports. Is that what you're saying?
We have 2 specific sports that are listed here, which I think is better than just the vague topic of sports.
Really?
Yes.
Nothing about games, though, of any kind, right? You don't see anything about games.
Well, sports are games.
No. But I'm saying, well, okay. I think that there is a difference between a sport and a game.
Do you know?
Yeah, I do.
That's a heavy sigh there.
Yeah. Well, because I was afraid you would ask me like to explain, and I'm not sure that I can. But I do think that there's a difference. I just can't come up with exactly why. Something about scoring or competition, like a game doesn't have a score, right? I guess it does. I don't know how to explain it. I feel like somebody else knows. Somebody else has a better explanation.
A game, the delineation that I would put, because I think there's a truth in what you're saying.
Yeah.
For me, a game is more mental and a sport is more physical.
Oh,
and not that there aren't, mental elements of sport.
Sure.
But they have to be executed physically. The planning and the strategy and everything has to be done by a body in a space.
Okay.
In your classic sports, whereas, you could be bedridden from, one of your kidney stones and still play a game.
Why on earth?
Whereas you'd be unlikely to play a sport.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Yeah, I suppose that makes sense. I like it. I like what you're coming up with here. I like what I'm picking up what you're laying down.
And I will say that the links that, even though baseball and cricket are the terms that are linked, it actually takes you to baseball statistics and cricket statistics.
Oh, that's upsetting.
It is.
Is there anything else down here? I'm looking through these links down at the very, very bottom. See if
performance art
here
is linked.
I did see performance art linked in there. I didn't think that would help us very much, but I did see it. I
don't think performance art has ever helped anybody very much.
Oh, hey, take that.
Take that. Art.
Yeah, way to punch up there. A lot of mathematics again, of course. So why wouldn't there be?
Yeah. Are you suggesting that performance artists aren't immensely privileged people generally?
Well, interesting. I guess what I'm saying is it doesn't get a lot of respect. So it's not.
It is the Rodney Dangerfield of
right.
Performing arts. Yes.
Exactly.
But for just cause, I'll go to the mat on that. Listen to my spin-up podcast, Why I Hate Performance Art.
That is something that you really, really hate. You've made it very clear. Every time we speak, I feel like you're bringing it up and pointing to yet another thing. Yeah, I see baseball. I see cricket. I guess. Oh, sabermetrics. Oh, wow. That's actually baseball statistics. I didn't realize that.
Yep.
Huh. So that's going to be our best bet, isn't it? There's really no other way out of here that makes a lot of sense. Unless, I guess, again, do you see anything about like pubs or drinking or bars or?
Not in the statistics page, sadly. No.
Yeah. Gosh, that's
I like
a shame.
It is. I like sabermetrics though.
Do you?
Or baseball statistics, either one of the two.
I like this. I like that this is a link. There's a link to. There are three kinds of lies: damned lies, and statistics. And that is there's a link out to that, to just that quote. And I just like that that's the case. I don't think it's going to help us in this particular walk that we're on, but I like that it exists. So just want to put that out there.
Yeah. I can't imagine that's a large Wikipedia article.
No, that's got to be pretty short. All right. Well, I'm going to say, I could stay on here and try to muddle through and find something better than that. But I sabermetrics, I guess, is where we're headed. That's what it's called, right? Sabermetrics
or baseball statistics.
Baseball statistics. Are they going to take us to the same place? Do you think?
No, they are not.
Statistics. Oh, wow. Ooh. So the question is, which one is going to have the longer page to help us get out?
It's a great question. I think that both are probably decent options. Like the thing about sabermetrics is that that's what Moneyball was based on. That idea of using statistics in a way that hadn't been done before.
Yeah,
to better measure that. So we could get to Billy Beane and Michael Lewis and out of. We're going to have options if we do that.
Big Crokinole fans, those guys. They're huge.
Yeah, well, but I mean, I don't know. I'm just trying to think of like, and I could easily see like the baseball statistics page.
Yeah.
Having like, here's a list of baseball statistics and not much else.
End of it. Yeah, exactly. Okay. All right. Well, let's, so sabermetrics, you say sabermetrics. I say, let's do it.
All right. Fantastic. Here we are.
I had heard that term, but I don't think I ever really knew what it was. So
it stands for the Society for American Baseball Research. Sabermetrics was coined by Bill James, who is one of its pioneers and often considered its most prominent advocate and public face.
Well, look at that. All right. So baseball is obviously linked on here. I don't think that's too surprising to anybody. So we could just go straight to baseball if we wanted, but I see some other things on here that are interesting. I see things like box score. And I wonder if that gets you into games a little bit better. I mean, baseball probably does. A lot of stuff about baseball statistics on here. I'll tell you that right now. ERAs and slugging percentages and on base percentages. Boy, they're all here.
It's a trove of data about an activity that I don't care at all about.
Yeah, exactly. But a lot of stuff.
I go to like one baseball game every 2 years, and that's just because it's a fun afternoon. But there are men of advanced years who take it very seriously and have for decades, and it is just, I guess, back to my earlier point. Like, hey, choosing to be curious, you can discover a lot of interesting things. I have not chosen to be curious about baseball.
So I see that The Simpsons is on here.
Are they? Look at that.
Yeah. The 22nd season of The Simpsons themselves. Lisa Simpson is linked on here. Bart Simpson is linked on here. The episode Money Bart is linked on here. So I don't know that helps us in any way, but Little League Baseball.
I see ice hockey.
Yeah. Well, analytics. Oh, yeah. And there's ice hockey itself. Basketball is on
just
there.
below the Bart Simpson. Yeah. Ice hockey gets us to Canada. I mean, baseball gets us to Canada too, but ice hockey really gets us to Canada.
Yeah, that's true. I kind of like that.
And there is a sports science category that is linked at the bottom, but you don't like the categories. So
no, I'm not a big fan of the categories, but I do sort of like hockey because I wonder if hockey is going to give us like a other Canadian sports type of link,
It could. It could very well.
I like it. I say ice hockey is the way to go here. But if you want to argue against it, I'll listen to your complaints and then overrule them.
All right. Well, you've been fair.
Thanks.
So let's go to ice hockey, shall we?
Let's do it. Ice hockey. Now I know we were in ice hockey last season
because we went to Alexander Ovechkin. Is that why? Because of your buddy Ovechkin, who's on this page? It should be said.
Yeah, is he? Good for him.
He is.
Good for him. Is this really, he's on this page? Because maybe we didn't go to ice hockey then. Oh, we came out of him and went through ice hockey because we were trying to get to a lake.
That's right.
That's what happened. Because yeah. So that's what happened there. So what I'm curious about is down here at the bottom of the page, if they have they have a link for team sports, Winter Olympic sports, but not Canadian sports. That's what I was sort of hoping for, Canadian sports. Now curling is on here. So curling, if you think that there's enough of a connection, you could get to curling from here.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly possible.
I don't think it's a great idea, but it is a thing.
All right. Well,
I see team sports. Unfortunately, I believe crokinole is more of a one-on-one individual. Gosh, Quidditch is linked on here because of team sports. Look at that. Boy, I really want the team sports thing to give us a way out.
Do you now?
There's broomball.
What is broomball?
You never played broomball? Broomball is it's kind of a hockey type sport where you are on ice just in shoes. You have originally it was a broom, but now it's like a stick with like a kind of a paddle on the end of it. And there's a ball and there's two goals, much like in hockey, and you're running down the ice and you're trying to score in the goal. I played it in college a little bit. It was like a kind of I don't know. They did it as like a social thing where they would like just have, the student committee is hosting broomball, come play broomball. And so I did it there, but there are actually professional leagues, and there's a great documentary called The Nomadic Who, and it's about a broomball team. And if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. It is great.
I'll check it out.
Yeah.
Check it out. Now there is a link to the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yes.
who are playing against your beloved Washington Capitals. Oh, sorry, not your beloved Washington. I was thinking of Alexander Ovechkin.
You're the worst.
And how much you love him. I
You're the
am,
worst.
aren't I?
Mm-hmm.
You started this, Hartman. You drew first blood.
No, did I?
Puck sport. So
Puck sport.
Is crokinole a puck sport?
Oh, interesting. Are those little things pucks?
It's a great question.
Yeah. I mean, could be considered a puck. I mean, that's the shape that they are.
Mm-hmm. They are puck shaped.
They are.
That distinctive puck shape.
I mean, yeah. Well, what's the shape of a puck? It's round but flat. I mean, that's a puck, right?
It's a very
that
short
might be
cylinder.
good. Where do you see puck sports?
On the left-hand side,
Mm-hmm.
In the big sort of introductory thing that, hey, here's some fun facts about hockey, like right at the top of the Wikipedia page.
Got it.
There is puck sport is linked. It actually, puck sport, the puck is linked to hockey puck.
Oh, I see. So puck sport is not like a thing. There's no group of puck sports.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
No, but hockey puck is linked, and that would likely
would then get us. Oh, interesting. Yeah. I see puck. Yeah, there it is. I sort of like it, man. I think hockey puck might be the way to go. But I don't know. My concern with it is that if it doesn't pan out like that, we are going to have a really tough time getting.
Let's have fun with it.
You want to do it?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's go to.
I mean,
puck.
we know we can probably get there through a geographic route, but again, let's go on an adventure.
All right, hockey puck it is.
All right. So it is under type. We link to hockey puck, and there it is, a picture of a hockey puck.
You hockey puck.
It is either an open or closed disc used in a variety of sports and games. There are designs made for use on ice surfaces, such as ice hockey, and others for different variants of floor hockey. They're all designed to serve the function a ball does in ball games. There is a link to ball, and in fact, balls are spheres, whereas pucks are short cylinders.
All right, so we've got this in other sports and games.
Mm-hmm.
And crokinole not included in this list.
That is disappointing.
Novus, which I don't know what that is, a 2-player game. Oh, this looks very similar. Shuffleboard, table shuffleboard, box hockey, floor hockey, and air hockey.
What is Novus? You said looks very similar.
So Novus is a 2-player game of physical skill closely related to carom and pocket billiards. So it's like it's a rectangle,
and there is a picture when you hover over it. So which is legal.
Yeah,
it's legal.
for sure. And it looks very similar to crokinole. Now, again, it's played with little pucks. It's played with cues. It's got pockets you're shooting into. So I don't know that it's the same, but if
it's similar, yeah. I mean, if your first reaction was, "Hey, this looks very similar," and you are between the two of us, the expert on crokinole, why don't we trust your gut judgment and go into Novus, which has two S's, Novuss, which I've never heard of.
Yeah, I wonder where that comes. Oh, originates in Estonia and Latvia. Gosh, I don't feel as good about it now.
Why? Because you hate Latvians?
No,
because you've always hated Latvians.
No, because it's not Canadian. It's not related to Canada in any way. Maybe table shuffleboard is a better.
I think you are
because table shuffleboard. Well, here's the thing: table shuffleboard is like a bar game for sure, 100%, right? And if this crokinole is also, maybe they're more closely related and will have links on their Wikipedia pages versus something like Novus, which is not a bar game from a different play. I don't know, Jethro. I don't know.
You don't know. You know what? Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Crokinole is a weird game that Greg had never heard of until Wikipedia randomly served it up to him.
Sure.
Everybody's heard of shuffleboard in a bar.
Right. Yeah.
So for that reason, I feel like crokinole has probably a greater kinship to something like Novus. And also, your first instinct when seeing that picture in the pop-up was like, oh, this looks similar.
All right. I will do it. I wonder if perhaps, yeah. Okay, let's just do it. Let's go to Novus, and maybe there's a way out of Novus back to Shuffleboard if we need to. Right?
Also known as Karuna or Corona, spelled with a K. It's a 2-player game of physical skill, which is closely related to carom and pocket billiards.
Yeah, and now carom looks. If you mouse over that, that could be crokinole if it was round.
Matt. Interestingly, I like to scroll down because there's always some fun stuff at the bottom.
Yeah, you enjoy.
If you scroll down to the See Also section, there are other strange games I've never heard of before, and one of them is crokinole.
It is. Oh my gosh, it's there. Hokey smokes, we've done it.
There we go. And look at that beautiful crokinole game board.
There it is.
Wow.
We did it. Crokinole. There it is. Yeah, it is a disc flicking. So disc, I guess it's discs, not pucks. Dexterity board game, possibly of Canadian origin, similar to the games of Pitch Nut, Carom, and
Pinchanote.
Pinchanote. Oh, all right.
I don't know.
Sure.
I guarantee I'm pronouncing all of those wrong.
Holy cow. You mouse over that. It looks like the same game. With elements of shuffleboard and curling reduced to tabletop size. So there you go. You were absolutely right. It's got elements of curling. It's got the shuffleboard. There it is. There it is.
Fantastic. We did it. We have done it, sir.
Well done. Well done. Well, I was starting to worry about us there for a couple moments. I got to be honest. Didn't know that we were going to make it, but we did. We went from big O notation to mathematics to statistics to sabermetrics, to ice hockey, to hockey puck, to Novus, to crokinole. And if you're counting, folks, you'll note that is 7 links that it took us. A little longer than our average, a little longer than our standard, but nonetheless, there we are. So Jethro, would you like to reveal your guess at this point?
I shall reveal my guess. And my guess was 8.
8, super duper close. The only thing closer would be 7. And that's what I guessed, even though you can't. There it is. There's that 7 right on the nose, showing that this season I can actually win one.
Well,
that's my one. I got my one.
I congratulate you. And this is clearly the beginning of a great Rocky Balboa-esque comeback.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
In which we become best friends and I eventually get murdered by a Russian man.
Oh, gosh. Boy, I hope that doesn't happen.
You're not the only one who saw movies in the 80s, my friend.
Of course, I already know what happens.
Oh. Well, Matt, I can't wait to find out as whatever horrific future awaits eventually reveals itself to me with you by my side.
And it shall. And I look forward to journeying on next week from crokinole to parts unknown.
Absolutely. Cheers.
Hey everybody, Matt Hartman here again for Drunkard's Walk podcast. Thanks so much for listening. A big thank you to Jesse L.E. for our theme music and Nick Harmio for our artwork. A thank you again to you for listening, back again for season 6, and we couldn't be more excited about it. How about a thank you to our guest today, Greg Gillotti? And hey, if you're liking what you're hearing, head on over to patreon.com/drunkardswalkpodcast and join our Patreon. There's a bunch of different levels there. You can find out more about them. Give us a rating or a review on iTunes or wherever you're listening to these podcasts. And hey, just keep on listening and keep on enjoying. Take care, everybody.